very beautiful out here with the sun shining and the birds chirping. One could almost say it's Zen-like. The word Zen has been completely co-opted by mainstream culture, particularly the self-care industry. Typically, when a product or service is being sold to us as Zen, it means that it's designed to produce in you a chilled out state. It's like your life is this Indy 500 super rat race of busyness, and this product or service is your spiritual pit stop. In our late capitalistic, neoliberal nightmare, we are besieged by anxiety and depression and diagnosable biochemical brain imbalances, mood disorders, and your garden variety spiritual despair. It's a sick culture. And when you got a sick culture that's obsessed with wealth, status, you get a wellness industry. And what I want to do today is reclaim the word Zen from the wellness industry. Zen is about accepting things as they are and dialing down, dialing back our expectations for how they should be. This is what we mean when we say living in the present moment. As Rinzai, the founder of my tradition, Rinzai Zen, said, every place is home to the follower of the way. So Zen is not about manipulating our reality so that it becomes a little bit more comfortable for a while. It's more about manifesting a vitality and an awareness and a connection with reality as it is, as it's happening in the moment, no matter how difficult or how strenuous or how unpleasant or uncomfortable it gets. It's truly amazing how strong and how deep this expectation can run. This expectation of wanting things to be different other than the way they are right now in this present moment. Like just this moment right now, I am shot through with so much dukkha and so much expectation. Like, I want better words to be coming out of my mouth. I would appreciate this next situation to resolve itself, wherein I have the nice, tight, like non-flabby, non-wrinkled neck skin of my youth, and not this pre-waddle situation I got going on here. I wish I was not in a wilderness where there are potentially a bunch of ticks because I'm terrified of Lyme's disease, or borealis as they call it here. I am a freight train 30 miles long, and every single car on this train is filled to the brim with worries or dukkha, suffering. So when I think about Zen practice and I think about sitting on a cushion and taking an inhale and taking an exhale, this is the practice of being in the moment, of dropping all of our expectations, of letting go of the idea that our selves or our insides or the world around us, the outsides, should be a certain way. We live in a strange world with very strong expectations pulling at us like we're marionettes. And Zen is not about finding a way to calm down and get temporary relief within these circumstances, the way the word is often used in our culture. That's so Zen, man. No, it's about cutting the strings and becoming free. Freedom, 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 freedom. That is what the word Zen means. Freedom from suffering, not temporary relief from emotional or physical pain to be provided by a product or a service that is basically part of the dukkha industrial complex that is our culture. I think it takes real bravery to practice Zen. So I'll close with a story that illustrates what I mean by bravery. So when I was a monk, I had a peer. Let's call him Fred, because he actually resembled Fred Flintstone a little bit. Fred was one of my favorite monks. He was he loved to roll his own cigarettes, to drink Guinness beer. He played the mandolin. He was a really open heart, a man of voracious appetites. I gave him this collection, it was like 900 pages long, of modernist short stories. He gave it back to me after a week, having read the whole thing. He was full of life. And when I was at the monastery, he lost his marbles. He lost it. He went crazy. And I don't want to go into all the details. Mostly I want to give you an image and paint a picture. And that is my teacher, Sasaki Roshi, Zen master, engaging with Fred when Fred was kind of at his most crazy. I mean, crazy is a pejorative. It's not the right word. He had a kind of a mental breakdown, and I don't know what the diagnosis is, but he eventually got some help for it. But before he got some help for it, my teacher was with him every step of the way, and he was engaging with Fred. And I remember thinking, I just want Fred to stop. I mean, this guy was like, he was supposed to be the Jikijitsu of the Zendo, and which meant he was supposed to lead everybody down to the dining hall for our formal meals, and he would just like take them past the dining. There's a whole trail of students and monks behind him, and I'm sitting in the dining hall holding my bowl set, and I can hear them coming, and then I can hear them going, and I'm turn around, and everybody else who's in the dining hall with me turns around, and he's taken the Zendo right past the dining hall. I mean, he really had lost it, and I was really scared, and I was really uncomfortable. People who go where he went make people like me, anal retentive head monks, very uncomfortable, and I just wanted him to stop. I wanted him to be cured, healed, and better, right? But Roshi wasn't playing that game, okay? He sat down with this monk, and he had tea with him, and he just opened his doors to this monk's crazy. And in the end, this monk went through this whole experience, and he did get some, he calls them his little blue pills, that helped him attain a kind of balance, a biochemical balance in his brain. But he's told me, man, without Roshi having been there with me, almost shamanically by my side, when I was going through this mental breakdown, he said, I wouldn't have pulled through, because these pills, they bring me into balance, but they also make me sluggish and a little bit dizzy, and I wouldn't have stayed on them. I wouldn't have had faith that there was some spiritual way through this mental illness, and I would have just given up entirely, and then who knows what would have happened. So I don't know exactly what to make of that whole episode of my life and my practice. I think about it often. I think about it when I see ads that always seem to pop up and Amazon and whenever I'm online, ads for wellness, ads for a Zen vibrator or a Zen vitamin or a Zen tanning salon or a Zen impotence cure, or all these Zen cures, insta cures for pain, mental and physical. I think of my teacher sitting down with this monk who was losing his mind and just being with him, talking to him, laughing at him, telling him, don't go crazy, come back to reality, look me in the eye, concentrate on the tea you're drinking, feel it on your tongue, what are you doing? Come back, over and over, look me in the eye. Become free of your suffering, become free of your crazy mind. That was the lesson he was teaching this monk when this monk was at his absolute worst. Come back. Let go of your expectations for how things should be. I'm here with you, no matter where you're at, no matter how crazy you are. We all have our expectations that things should be a certain way. I had my expectation that that monk should be a certain way. But Zen is the practice of outgrowing your expectations and stepping right through them, shuffling off that skin and into the reality of the present moment. Thanks for tuning in, friends. I hope you get something out of this video. So if you want to continue to see videos on this channel, no, that wasn't the right way to put it, was it? If you want to support this channel, you can support me through Patreon and PayPal, and the links are in the description. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Tschüss.